/the Onyx Path, where today we have gathered for Trinity Continuum and Assault on Nemesis Station, Session 2. Thank you so much for your patience. We had a couple of gremlins to slay before we went live, but the gremlins have now been slain. If you are in the audience and you notice any audio issues, please, pretty please with sugar on top, give us a shout in the chat and let us know that things have gone sideways. That would be much, much appreciated. So as I mentioned, we're getting together to play some Trinity Continuum, and we're going to dive into who we are and who we're playing and all that stuff in just a moment. I just want to make sure that I post a couple of final going live notices, and of course that I make sure that you all are aware of what we have going on right now. We are in the final days of the bundle of holding. And if you actually head over to our link tree, I will drop the link to that in chat. If you head over to our link tree, it's right up top. It's a Chronicles of Darkness Dark Eras bundle of holding. I believe it's 10% of the proceeds go to the Diana Jones Award Foundation, to their scholarship for upcoming designers. So it's a good cause. It's an opportunity to get a whole bunch of cool Dark Eras books, and I think there's only a couple days left on it. So if you've not yet done so, head over there and check that out. I also want to take this opportunity to remind you all that my absolute favorite, bar none, zero exceptions in the universe, favorite role-playing game in existence came out this past week in PDF and POD. They Came from the Cyclops' Cave is available now over at Drive-Thru-RPG. And I will be throwing the link to that in the chat. And They Came from the Cyclops' Cave is one of the They Came From series based on cinema, in this case, fantasy cinema. So everything going back to like your early silent fantasy films, your Sinbad and all that sort of thing, up through the Harryhausen movies, all the way up to like Hercules and Xena are all covered through They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. It is an incredible setting and system, and has beautiful tools to allow you to emulate those stories. And in case you were unaware, I run a live play of They Came from the Cyclops' Cave, Fridays noon, bi-weekly usually. We will be on this week because we had a scheduling kerfuffle last week. But yeah, if you want to check out how the game plays, come by Friday at noon Eastern to this very channel. And if you've not yet done so, please go pick up They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. Since all that is done, let's go ahead and do our intros. Let's start this party off with Malachi. If you could, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you'd like to promote.
Hi, I'm Malachi, he, they, playing Fenrir, he, him. I am a Texas sommelier, and I talk shit on the internet. I'm also a poet at Malachi Hoskins on Instagram.
Rock and rolla. And you are playing whom?
Fenrir.
Fenrir, that's correct. You mentioned that. My brain shut off for a second. My bad. Next up, Jeremiah. If you could, please share your pertinent details with us, please.
Hi, I am Jeremiah McCoy. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Vern Verdigre, or Dr. Vern, and his pronouns are he, him, and I can be found on TikTok and on Twitch as basically the game.
Rock and roll. And I will give a shout out to that channel right now while I have asked Jenna to please tell us all of your pertinence.
Hey, my name is Jenna, she, her. I'm going to play Amira, she, her as well. Your resident scientist and DJ going to Nemesis Station. I am going to run on the Onyx Path channel. this upcoming Sunday, April 21st, and Sunday, May 5th, Trinity Continuum Core 2-shot called The Devil in Board Shorts. So if you like noir and you like 1990s Florida, you will like this game. And we're going to have a great time. I'm going to introduce everyone to the Technogate 2000 crew and have everything unite there. You can find me on Instagram at Jenna_Flohr or Real House Cats of Pittsburgh.
Sweet. Thank you so much. All right. And I'm Travis, pronouns are he and they. When I'm not running games, I am writing them. But today I have the extreme pleasure and honor of running games. When last our group met, they had been gathered to head to an asteroid called Nemesis in order to drop off some supplies, do some sort of basic checkups on what's going on, and provide assistance to the miners if needed. And of course, our Orgatech representative was supposed to check, make sure the tech wasn't being abused. Our Aeon representative was there to sort of keep an eye on things, make sure everything was all right, in addition to assisting anyone with any of their health concerns they might have. And our freelancer was just supposed to head back to Luna. But like all, best laid plans, these plans went awry. So upon arriving, they discovered that the station had gone mostly dark. There was no communications. There was damage everywhere. They managed to work their way inside and discover that there had been some sort of a violent attack. Lots of people were injured. Lots of the equipment was damaged. Ultimately, through some investigation, they discovered that some aberrants had drilled up from underneath the station itself, from inside the asteroid, and attacked. Vern was able to save everybody who was still alive that was in the compound, and get them out to the ship, or at least did you get them all the way to the ship? I can't recall if that was your plan, was to take them all the way to the ship.
I actually told them to go back to the station at least, and some of them were helping other injured people in the process. So
okay, so like you set up like a triage, probably like in the docking area that you entered through. That's fine. During that time, of course, sorry, brain meats are a little fuzzy. Jenna, your character's name again?
Amira.
Amira, thank you. Amira was working on setting up, and did in fact set up a temporary broadcasting unit to allow them to reach out for help. It's a boosted signal that hopefully should be able to cut through enough background noise that it'll get to somebody that hopefully will be able to help. And that was kind of where you were at the end of last session. Now, Fenrir, of course, had been going through the personal logs and discovered that one of the miners, just not long before the aberrant attack, had accidentally cracked open an ice shelf. And when they did, they heard screaming and sounds deep in the crevasse below that ice shelf. So not only was some drinkable water lost, but also it seems that may have awakened or agitated a nest of aberrants that were underground. Shocking, amazing, and awful. Before we get into what your characters will be doing this session and how you're going to be reacting to what remains, you do have the opportunity to do what we call tweaks. So if you would like to alter your skills, you may take one dot from any one skill and move it to another skill one time. Might reflect like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna need to roll this, but I will, or I know I'm gonna, I know I will wind up having to roll a thing, so I'm gonna move a dot over into that. You can do that. The only caveat is you have to roll that before the end of the session, and then that's where the dot stays. You can do the same thing with one attribute. Also, during tweaks, You can alter any short-term aspirations you have. So if you need to swap those out or replace them, tweaks is generally where that's done. And spend any experience that you might have. I don't know that any of you have enough experience to really buy much of anything. I think you could probably buy a skill dot, I think would be the most that any of you would be able to pull off. Those cost. Oh no, those are 5. So if any of you has 5 or a dot in an edge. Did anyone have any tweaks they would like to make? Experience expenditures, movement of skills, movement of attributes. All right, rock and roll. In that case, let's dive right in. Was Fenrir sharing the information that you got from the logs with the rest of your crew?
Yes.
Okay, so you're all aware that this worker cracked open the ice shelf and seems to have disturbed something underneath. You're aware that the aberrants tunneled out from the bottom and seems to have taken some prisoners. The majority of the people in this station back down into their subterranean tunnels. By this point, Werner has gathered all of the survivors, the injured survivors, into the docking bay and set up the temporary triage there, making sure everybody's pretty much stabilized at this point. And your beacon is now going. What would you like to do?
As I see it, we got a couple of options. One of which is we could just run away. We got a bunch of wounded. We can get them to a hospital and let Legion show up and deal with it.
Legion's going to show up and just blow the ship up, right? That's just what they do.
You mean the asteroid? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not impossible. Theoretically, if they're aware that there are civilians inside, protocol is that they try to get them out. But when you're this far out from any sort of civilization, whether that protocol gets followed is going to depend a whole lot on who's commanding that mission.
Well, Fenrir probably has friends on this asteroid. And if they're not among the survivors, then they're probably with the aberrant. And is going to want to go suss that situation out. You'd rather handle it or do something to kind of mitigate it before, calling the interstellar cops.
I mean, that's fair. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, Mira will just look like really big-eyed and she'd be like, leave everyone? What? When Fenrir says like, let's check out where at least the hostages are, she's very much into that. Also, do I have any loyalties to like getting equipment back or like logging what the aberrants broke or anything like that, or in terms of Orgotech?
No, you would be well aware that Orgotech is going to place your safety and the safety of any living creature above and beyond gear. They can always do a forensic analysis to figure out what got destroyed if they have to.
Okay. So, yeah, if we could maybe just check, how like what the hostage situation is before we leave.
I'm not opposed. We got a bunch of wounded people here. I don't want them to end up dead because we got heroic. Are any of them pilots?
One of them is a girl named Jenny, the one that you pulled out from under the stacks. Is like, I can fly a ship. I'm not a pilot by trade, but I can fly.
Okay. We don't get back by a certain amount of time, she can fly the ship away, at least get the wounded we've already saved out. Does that
I
sound
agree to
reasonable?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you all are comfortable with it and you think it's safer, I'm happy to take this sucker into orbit and wait.
That's great because as I'm pretty sure it's my ship.
Right.
So if you could just not leave me on this asteroid filled with aberrants and also take my ship, if you could just wait, waiting is good.
Right. I'm just saying, would you rather me wait here in the shuttle bay, or would you rather me take the ship up into orbit where aberrants aren't going to come out and destroy us?
Yeah, you can go to orbit. Don't go out of orbit. Come back. Come back for me specifically. I have things on that ship.
Duly noted.
That said, the safety of you and the rest of the wounded takes precedence over us.
And then in the meantime, while they were discussing that, since she was like, "Oh, I'll take it away," I used my powers to access the ship and download a playlist. And once they all agree, I press play to my new Nemesis track for my short-term aspiration to play the song I had created for everyone. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
You take full advantage of your captive audience to play the brand new song as they load the wounded onto the ship and go into a low geosynchronous orbit around Nemesis.
All right. Well, you want to go check that ice cap that they cut through? See if we can see anything?
I'm wondering if psycholocation is useful in this particular moment to get an idea of what's going on the ice cap and on the asteroid.
Sure. Absolutely. So you're trying to get like the basic.
I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, I would come out of this knowing the like, have I been to this asteroid before?
Yes, you have.
Okay. So I'd like to know where everything is on this station and also know how many aberrants we're talking about and also know how many hostages we're talking about specifically.
Sure. That's going to what?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I have bioelectrical awareness and EM sight if we wanted to like Wonder Twin power this, and you could get like a re-out with like some bioelectrical awareness and gamma rays and everything. But I'm not sure how your power works, but I'd be happy to help get a bigger picture.
Well, there's a couple of ways to go about it. If you want to get your senses out to those locations separately, that would require effectively 2 uses of the power sensory manipulation, which is psycholocation 3. So what's your current psycholocation score?
3.
Excellent. So it's you have no penalties or bonuses for rolling it. The way you would make that roll is you would roll your psi plus your psycholocation. That power has a cost of 1 psi point. And if you wanted to add your electrokinesis to it, the way that would work, so the way when you're combining your modes is you would be adding it as a support. So you won't necessarily, like if you're supporting Fenrir's effort to use psycholocation, you won't be granting him any specific knowledge that he would get through electrokinesis. The way that it works is you're multiplying the duration of the power's effect by your psi trait. which is fine if you two want to do that. It just requires each of you to spend an additional psi point. By the way, you should all be fully recovered. The amount of time it took you to figure out a plan is enough for you to gain all your psi back.
I mean, I'm willing to help. It's one side point, you know. So better, stronger, faster.
Yes.
Sweet. And
So
then
what
you,
am
so that means you'll have to spend 2 psi now,
okay?
but you will roll psi plus psycholocation.
And what am I rolling? What dice am I rolling? What are we using?
10-sided dice.
10.
Yep, and you need to roll that number of d10s, and you're looking for 8s, 9s, or 10s. If you get a 10, that you can re-roll that and continue to do so as long as you're getting 8, 9s, and 10s, counting each new one as a success. Also, a reminder, you do have 4 momentum in the momentum pool because we've started a new session.
And so 8, 9s, and 10s are successes.
Correct.
I have 1 success.
Excellent. Okay. So, yeah, this is straight up, as long as you're not trying to do it at interstellar ranges, you basically, 1 success is all you need. And because you have the multiplied duration, your psi score is a 3. Is that correct for Amira?
Yes.
Excellent. So I will let you use it for basically 3 times as long. So in this case, rather than it being longer, I'm going to give you 3 locations on the asteroid you can look at. So what are your, in order of priorities, what would you like to look at? So you can look at 3 different locations.
Yeah.
Fenrir.
Oh,
You have any
okay.
ideas?
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
look at whatever the largest sort of like room here would be, because I imagine that's where you would hold hostages, wherever the big, like the mess hall or something. But I want to look.
I'll save you. I'll save you a location. You checked all the security footage and the security cameras once you got access to the system. They are not currently in the building. According to the witnesses, they went down that tunnel.
Okay. Then yeah, I want to look at the entrance of that tunnel, and I
All
want
right.
to look at the inside of where that goes.
All right.
And if I get 3, do we have another idea of the third? Because my other option is the outside of this ice cap, like the perimeter for anything else.
Yeah, you were talking about checking the actual ice shelf that was broken, right?
Right.
Okay, so that would be the third, I would assume. Well, that would be the second, because the hole and moving your senses down the hole, I'm going to count that as 1 because you're just moving through a tunnel. You're not like projecting to a different location, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So as you're going down this hallway, you can see that the tunnel is approximately 5 meters in diameter and it moves southward in a gentle slope. For about 2 kilometers, it's just a straight tunnel. No bends, no winds, nothing interesting about it. You can see obvious signs of recent passage. A couple of dropped mini comps, ID badges, confirming this is the direction that the captives went. You also see streaks and puddles of blood sparsely throughout the tunnel. This indicates that either the captives were injured before they were taken, or they were injured during transit. At about 2 kilometers in, the tunnel joins with a network of other tunnels, roughly the same size and shape, but this is much more of like a maze. So why don't you go ahead and roll Resolve Survival for me? And how many successes did you get on that?
I have one.
Okay. As you're sort of moving along through the tunnels, you see there's a lot of dead ends down there. It's kind of hard to follow. You're able to eliminate some of the tunnels as being valid, and while you're moving through one of the particular like cutoffs, as you like enter like round the corner to go into the cutoff tunnel, you get almost like a hiccup in your psi senses that indicates the presence of corruption. In other words, an aberrant or subaberrant mutant is hidden in that tunnel, but for the life of you, you can't see them.
So, and okay, well, I know where they are.
All right. So what's our plan? We go down there. I mean, a single aberrant ruined like a third of the United States. Another one sunk the entire state of Florida. These things are not safe for even the three of us. So we need a plan.
Well, they're in a labyrinth of tunnels. We don't have to go right to their face. We can go into an adjacent tunnel and kind of do them like they did this station. We find a weak spot. If we can, we exploit it, and then we try and sneak people out.
All right. I'm all for it. Saving lives, all that. How about you?
Yeah, like we should like get our hazmat suits on, and she like pats her head, and her outfit changes to like a radiation outfit. And then there has to be something around here like that. I don't know, maybe we can use like maybe there's like a flamethrower or something like that. Like should we come prepared for violence? I don't know. I've never prepared for violence before.
Yes, a flamethrower sounds great. I love this idea.
A flamethrower in an asteroid in space.
Covered in ice. We need
That's
melt
not the
the ice,
problem.
right?
That's not going to be the problem. Certain
Okay.
portions of that asteroid are without atmosphere. Flames require air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, this is
Hmm.
my lack of violence preparation. I don't know.
But we probably got some guns around here at least, do we?
Yeah, if you check the armory there are probably a half dozen laser carbines.
How big is a laser carbine?
It's like a small ray, about the size of a sawed off.
Oh, yes. Fenrir is strapping one of those to his back and picking another one up. Is definitely going with two.
Right. And if you need the stats for those are in Trinity Continuum and on page 280. The Voss 63 laser carbine is what you got. Is everybody else also grabbing a laser carbine?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you're good with tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think you could rig a power cell to be something more like a bomb?
Hmm. Yes.
Might
Yes,
be
I
able,
can.
might be able to collapse the tunnel behind us if we're trying to run away from them. Might buy us some time.
I mean, are there any like grenades or anything in this armory? Or
There are explosives here, but the explosives that are here are uh, mainly used for construction purposes. Now you can absolutely one of the benefits of that is that they're easily shaped. So you can grab some of those shaped charges. They will not act as grenades. You'll have to plant them,
Mhm.
but they absolutely
But
will
it's I
explode.
don't have to do everything from scratch,
Right.
so kind of thing. Um, is there an option for a like a knife of some sort?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
There's knives all over the place.
Plus one boot knife. She feels that is appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll grab some of the explosives. I'll put them in my backpack that's on top of my radiation suit. Again, I have shifting armor and I have like a laser carbine and she's like, "Okay, yep, we're prepared. We can figure this all out for sure."
All right. Rock and roll. Another thing I would like to bring to your attention in terms of using modes together. We had the electrokinetic grant a benefit to the clairsentient. The clairsentient can also grant benefits to the electrokinetic or the vitakinetic to use their powers at your attunement range. So both of them have different means of detecting life signs. That may help you navigate the tunnels, get to where you need to go, because normally they can only do it in the room, basically, but you can extend that out to like several hundred kilometers.
Oh, that's very nice. If you would like to help since they were invisible to you, Fenrir, I could always check and she'll just like list like just all scientific spectrums of things and just be like, bup, 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 bup. She's like, "Did you check those
And
when you were
Fenris is gonna
looking?"
stare for like a beat and blink
Yeah.
and be like, no. Were you,
No. Okay.
is that the same language?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, we should check that. That sounds
We
like
should
huge.
check it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right. So in this case, you would each spend one psi point.
All right.
And if you want to lend it to Jeremiah's character for Vitakinetic scan as well, you can absolutely do both. You just would need to spend two psi in that case, Fenrir.
Let's spend two. Here we go.
All right. So just to look that up right quick, in terms of what you can sense with electrokinesis, sense spectrum. That allows
Right.
you to feel which energies are present. You have a general sense of what purpose they serve. The difference between microwaves from an oven and those in a communications transmitter, but can't tell what information they carry. So that would let you sense any sort of electricity. You can also
I also in my dots, I have bio-awareness and EM
bioelectrical
sight.
awareness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, then, yeah, holy cow. Go ahead and roll. What is your electromanipulation score?
1.
All right, excellent. So go ahead and roll psi plus electromanipulation.
Okay, so I got a 9 and a 10.
Then re-roll at 10. So that's counts as two successes.
and didn't just 2.
All right, excellent. So you can sense there's a lot of static down there that you're assuming is probably from aberrant corruption.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard for you to get like a lock on it, but you can sense probably a half dozen signatures moving around through the tunnels, and then another kilometer or 2 past the labyrinth of tunnels, you can sense a large cluster of them. You can't make heads or tails of what's what, but you can sense a very large cluster of them. And then for Jeremiah, were you just using straight up curly and eye?
Yeah,
Or-
I'm trying to get a read on the condition of the people there.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your psi plus mode. Your psi plus your highest mode because it's a basic power.
Okay. Does because I have a thing on here that says that favored mode, does that change
Favored
something?
mode?
Yeah.
No, favored mode gives you enhancement specifically when you're using that mode. So since this is a basic power, it would not apply.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it made a difference.
No worries.
All right. I got 1.
Okay. You can sense definite injury and illness past the labyrinth. Any life forms within the labyrinth that you sense seem to be fully healthy, though it's a little difficult for you to tell because there's a lot of static from corruption.
Woohoo. I'm sure this will be fine.
What is the corruption, like, I guess, like, scientifically, or is it like that whole quantum thing
Scientifically,
from
it's quantum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's quantum energy out of control.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, and because subquantum energy, which is what psi is, and quantum energy disrupt one another, it makes it harder for you to use your powers around a bunch of aberrants. Bright side
Okay.
is if you're throwing around a bunch of psi, it makes aberrants a little bit harder to use their powers too. So,
All right.
Or we actually get into any fights or anything, I'm hoping we can avoid them. But if it comes up, I'm awfully hard to kill. So don't worry so much if I end up in something hazardous. You can always come back for me.
Sounds good.
that's
I mean,
true. Go ahead.
that sounds like you're volunteering to be the leader in the tunnel, Doc.
Yeah, I figured.
Fun fact, Vitakinetics have knit as a basic ability. So as long as you have a brainstem that functions, you'll heal.
Yep.
Nice. Oh yeah, you going first.
Yep. All right. In that case, if you're going to take point, I would like you to roll survival plus resolve, please, if you don't mind, for Werner.
I do not mind one bit. Survival plus resolve. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Yay. Whoa. Okay. I got 3 10s on that one. So
Excellent. Let's keep them rolling.
that was a good roll. I like that roll. It can keep happening. And one more. So total of 4.
Total of 4. Excellent. So as you are moving through, you're able to kind of sense almost ahead of time, just through your Curlian eye, upcoming life signs, and able to sort of duck and weave and avoid the aberrant patrols without getting lost, and make your way through the tunnel without actually interacting with any of the aberrants. When you sense these aberrants, they seem to be in fairly good health. Based on the level of corruption static that they're putting off, you're assuming they're probably what's called divergent level aberrants, which is kind of the bottom tier of true aberrants. Some beings that are qualified as aberrants are actually subaberrant mutants. They don't generate their own corruption. They've just been mutated by exposure to it. But these, you're pretty sure, are like bottom tier. They're either really powerful subaberrants or bottom tier divergence. But you do manage to, after probably about an hour and 15 minutes of ducking and weaving through the tunnels, make your way to the end of the labyrinth itself.
How long does it take for psi to replenish?
You regain, I think it's your psi score and psi points every 10 minutes that you're not actively using a power.
Okay.
So it doesn't take long. As you're creeping up and you get to the area where this maze sort of opens up into a large chasm, you can see before you what looks like a relatively well-constructed city. You would guess, I mean, city might be a strong term, village. There are dozens of what appear to be residential buildings, what looks like a couple of commercial shops. And in the center of this village is what looks like probably some sort of like you're assuming it's probably like a town hall or like a central meeting temple, something along those lines. It actually has sort of Roman inspired like columns on it, but it looks much more like retro FSA than it does like actually Roman columns, if that makes sense. And this central building you can actually see as you sort of sneak over and like drop into a little crevasse behind a rock. You can see what appears to be a small crowd of people kind of moving from the streets into this central building.
This is just a place. This is just a place. Look, there's a corner store over there.
Yeah. Well, the aberrants went somewhere.
Do you think we can get over to that building over there? That little courthouse? You think we go over there? Because I want to know what an aberrant courthouse looks like.
I want to know where our wounded people are and get them out. My curiosity stops at getting everybody out.
I want to
Sure.
know about both.
I
She'll just like sneak in.
Are you gonna try to sneak straight to the building, or are you gonna try to take in some of the village first?
Well, are they wearing like, since I have the shifting armor, I think like maybe I could just change my outfit to look like they don't have any like you know, in terms of their aberrantness, not everyone's not like blue or have purple hair or
So
something crazy, or like
most of the people that you can visibly see in the streets at this point have lesions and tumors that are visible from your vantage point.
Okay.
Like they appear to have clearly been mutated. The other thing that strikes you as a little odd is that most of them, there seem to be kind of three main fashions amongst the group.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the group appear to be dressed in relatively well kept and cleaned red robes. Some of them appear to be dressed in basically tattered rags. And then there's a third group that are dressed in heavily worn, but clearly reminiscent of like holovids you've seen of early 21st century fashion.
Okay. And who's of those three wardrobe choices going to the courthouse the
All of them.
most? All of them?
Yeah, it seems as though somebody has recently called for the town to come in, or maybe it's church time. You're not sure what, but it seems like everybody is kind of pouring into the meeting hall.
So I'll I said we could sneak by, or yeah, maybe we should go find the people first while they're all at the courthouse. She's like, oh, decisions, and she'll look at
Well,
both of you.
well, friends, I'm being facetious when I say I'm curious about an aberrant courthouse. I've never been curious about any courthouse or the inside of one. I'm saying that from a distance, this looks like a witch hunt. This looks like a public execution. We're looking for a bunch of people that they took, and now everybody in this weird ass village is just going to their center of authority. Yeah, that's where it's going down. They are definitely there.
You don't see a Wicker Man anywhere, do you?
You do not. However, I will let you all make a integrity cunning roll if you like. Or if you actually want to spend the time sort of moving around and really kind of trying to process what's going on, I would settle for an investigation intelligence roll or intellect roll, I should say.
I'll do cunning intellect to make my point.
To do which so it'd either be integrity cunning or investigation intellect. Investigation, is that right? Am I looking? No, enigma's intellect. I apologize.
Yeah, I'll do the
Yeah.
Enigma's intellect.
Yeah, I'll have to do she's definitely staring. She's just like, why wouldn't you be interested in this? Like, she's for science, kind of thing. So 5, 6 dice for me.
So you are kind of taking your time a little bit, giving them all room to move, making sure you can move kind of stealthily through the area.
My dice are loving me today. Because I got 2 10s on that last one and an 8.
Oh,
I
wow.
rerolled and got another 8.
Nice. So that's 4. Not
4
bad.
successes.
Beautiful. How about for Amira?
I have 2.
Excellent. And Fenrir?
I have 1 success.
Excellent. So Fenrir, you come to the conclusion that the aberrants and their sub-aberrant followers have established this permanent settlement. This is not something that is, a pop-up. This is permanent. And judging by the architecture, judging by the snippets of clothing you're seeing, based on, again, like History Channel holovids you've seen, this settlement, this colony was probably established during or perhaps even at the very beginnings of the Aberrant War. So they've been here living underground inside this asteroid for 80 years, 90 years. Amira, you discover those items, as well as noting that the residential buildings and the commercial buildings that you're sort of snooping around, going past and looking in windows and things like that, none of them seem to be housing any of the hostages, which pretty much means the miners must be in the meeting hall.
Okay.
So in addition to all of that information, Werner also determines that based on the robes and the way that those people are carrying themselves, based on the sort of interactions that the other civilians are having with the robed people on their way to the meeting hall, it seems that there is some sort of a religious like cult element to this, like that the subaberrants that live here worship the the people in the robes and probably their aberrant masters. You also notice, Werner, at the southern end of the settlement, you can see where there's like a rocky wall, but you can make out that it actually looks like it was a large tunnel that has been recently collapsed and the rocks melted together to provide an airtight seal.
All right. I will point out the section that's recently been sealed. You think they might have some of our people in there?
I mean, or something worse. Maybe it was a gas leak.
Do you want to try to look past the wall?
I would love to look past the wall.
All right, go ahead and roll. That would be psi and psychometry, please, or psi and psycholocation, please. And spend 1 point of psi.
Ooh, I have 1 success and 2 10s.
So it's 3. So it's you have, what was the other one success?
9.
Oh, so you have 9 and 2 10s. All right, you roll your 2 10s. Excellent.
And 2 more. No, that's no successes after that.
All right, so 3 successes. You feel the weight of the corruption kind of, it's almost like there's this clairsentience tune into what the more spiritual oriented of them refer to as the noetic totality. You tune into the vibes of the universe when you use your powers. Okay. And as you activate your power, you sense over in that meeting hall, this big old hole in the vibes of the universe. Like there is something foul in that building that's mucking up your senses and just makes it impossible for you to look in there. Fortunately, you're not looking in there, you're looking past it. You go past the tunnel, your vision moves through the rock, which is surprisingly thick. It's probably about 40 meters of rock that you look through. And when you get to the other side, you see a massive area covered in what appears to be flash frozen vegetation and even some like livestock, like a couple of dead cows, some dead sheep, some dead pigs. Everything appears to be flash frozen. And you turn your attention upward and you see the shattered ice shelf that was mentioned in the logs.
Okay, we are not going in there. I think I know what happened, guys. This is I hate it here. I hate it here. This is our fault, and it's their fault, and it's our fault. It's
Did
all about
capitalism happen? Oh no.
No, no.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
always
no,
the case.
it's sort of, not no, Doc, a little bit. We broke their farm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
Everything on the other side of that wall is dead. It looks like they had quite a bit on the other side of that wall. Great meals for months on this other side of that wall, and we broke it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the leader and like talk about it, and like maybe we
No.
could get like an orgo tech, like
No.
like Grant, and then we could like refreeze stuff, and then
No.
it'd be like great. Yeah.
No.
I appreciate your optimism. I really do. That sounds great. I don't know
I'm
how
afraid that
open.
dog won't hunt, is how they say it back home. We're
It's a
talking
gr-
aberrants here.
It's a great colloquialism. We're also talking about anybody. If you just took away my entire food source, I don't know if I would be super willing to negotiate with you. You would owe me something.
Yeah.
You would owe me a lot. And I don't know if they're planning to eat people, but it looks like they just took out what they would need from the asteroid.
I mean, these are the boogeymen of the last 100 years, and we're not going to be on good terms with them. We're supposed to call it in when we find them so that whole armies can show up and kill them. They are not going to be wanting to talk to us.
Anybody here got dots in culture?
I have so many dots in culture.
I have a dot in culture.
I have 3 dots.
I will come up to this culture table.
Why
What's
don't those
going
of you
on?
who have dots in culture go ahead and roll culture and I would say intellect, but I'm willing to hear other attributes in terms of trying to remember pertinent facts about history. And these are the kinds of things that are known. So there's certain aspects of the Aberrant War that are like known the way that we all know things about World War II or the Civil War, right? Like there's just things that are sort of common knowledge you learned in grade school. And then there's more in-depth knowledge. So this is to determine what more in-depth knowledge, if any, you might have.
This is a long shot. I'm just going to make a case. Because you're looking at what you're learning in school, and then you're looking at what is learned behind that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at the history written by the victors, and then you have to parse that with context.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that takes a certain amount of composure while you are considering the
Oh,
culture.
I mean, listen, I would have a hard time arguing against you all pairing composure with anything at this point because you're in a room full of fucking dangerous mutants.
Excellent, because I have 5 composure.
Like keeping your head is a component to everything you are doing right now.
I mean, you're talking to the scientist and you're like, if you want to make an intellect roll, I'm like, I'm already rolling, Travis. Like I'm just going. So let's do this, and then let's re-roll some 10s. I have 3 successes.
I have also 3 successes.
So the two of you remember not only what Dr. Werner had mentioned earlier about just how like there was an aberrant that ruined half of North America. There was an aberrant that sank Florida, one of them. The two of you start to remember that during the beginning of the Aberrant War, and as things started to escalate, some of the aberrants took off, and they took entire cities worth of followers. Some say followers, some say prisoners. Sometimes it depended on the aberrant with them, abandoning the planet for greener pastures before the ultimatum even happened, before the Aberrant War ended. People were doing this. So by extension, that would mean that it is very likely that there is a first generation, was back on Earth back in the day, and has had several decades to just sit around and get more powerful aberrant hanging out in that building. If you're very, very, very lucky, something went wrong and the original aberrants that founded this colony are dead, you're probably not very, very, very lucky.
That's not a good thing. That's not helpful. So if there's a courthouse, I mean, maybe there. This is definitely a town hall meeting. This has to be a town hall meeting. They lost all their food. and they also took a bunch of people who they think took their food. So either this is a town hall meeting or it's a trial. And if it's not a trial, then the hostages should probably be in a jail.
Well, can we sense, since we're so close, can we sense
Yeah,
non-corrupted ones, Vern?
Yeah, can I do that?
If you're not close enough to do it without tapping into the clairsentient. If you want to use the extra point of psi, and if Fenrir is willing to toss a point of psi at it, you can absolutely reach inside and look. But otherwise, you're too far away.
Or I
Yeah.
can get, or it's either that or I get closer.
Yeah, either that or you basically sneak into the building. That is an option you have.
You know, I remember this one time I tried to sneak into a building with a giant laser rifle on my back, and it didn't work out. So why don't I help you out and we see where this goes?
All right.
All right. So each of you will spend a point of psi, and then Werner, you will roll psi plus your highest mode.
One.
Okay. Do you want to spend any momentum? You have 4 momentum in the pool. You want to drop 2 of them on rerolls?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
It's a reroll.
Yeah, you spend 2 momentum, gives you 2 dice you can reroll.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I knew how many I was rerolling.
Yep.
2.
2 successes. Excellent. So there's a lot of static, and in fact, you are probably pulling more information from the absence of static than you are the presence of life signs, if that makes sense. Like the areas, like that building is teeming with life. There are several people inside that are in various states of illness, and there are several people inside that are in various states of injury. Having said that, near the rear of the building, there appears to be a congregation of less staticky life signs, probably about a third of them expressing some level of injury. None of them seem to be critically injured at this point. But they seem to have been kind of stuffed into a back room, basically.
All right. Well, the back half of the building, if we approach that back half, maybe we can avoid getting into a fight to get them out.
It's the very back of the building, like it's against an exterior wall.
It is against an exterior wall.
I have a great idea.
Is it an idea clever enough to put a tail on it and call it a weasel?
I don't know what that means, Doc.
All
Did
right.
you still have that? Do you still have that bomb?
I have parts of the bomb. Yes.
Okay. So what we need a hole and we need a distraction. And I'm saying we set up a loud detonation on the part of that wall that they tried to cover up, the hole where we came in.
Mhm.
Not where we came in, but where we came in. You know what I mean? Where we broke their world. Let's break it again. And at the same, are we able to put a timer on that? Because if we can try and break through the exterior wall of the back half of this building at the same time that explosion is going off, we might be able to sneak everybody out.
Okay, and we don't want to talk to the leader in charge to see if we can just forget about war and say we're sorry and try to make people happy that are living in a radiation underground bunker in a meteorite.
We do want to do that. We don't have a lot of faith in its efficacy.
All right. So just FYI, Amira's living in the suburban bubble is showing real hard right now. She's just just saying, she's like, are you sure? The Orgotech is just
Have you
so
heard
strong.
of the country of France?
So,
Have you heard of France?
yes.
France is a wasteland right now because the aberrants came back and pushed a satellite out of orbit on us.
Five aberrants
Five
Five,
aberrants.
five.
showed up and dropped a space station on France.
Well, yes, I understand that, but then this aberrant is like, oh no, I lost my cow and now we're all going to die. Like, I feel like there's like some give and take, like people can help each other,
I hear you, but the
Yeah.
question is, do you have a cow?
I mean, if we get the right equipment and then we can grow the thing and then like there's just like hydroponics,
So
she
no.
will start talking. Make her stop when you want her to because she will come up with a plan.
I would like to bring up a
Yeah.
point that the space pilot, if nobody else, will immediately think of when you start running this plan through your head. It's a lot of rock to blast through. You probably have enough explosives to blast through. You do not want to blast all the way through that seal.
Right. I didn't think we had enough.
Oh, you probably could. Like the explosives they're using on this mining job are no joke. You could probably pop that cap.
Nice.
You do not want to do that.
Let's not do that.
No.
Because
We just wanted to like have an explosion over there so they go, oh shit, and then like
Right.
go
Yes.
over. Yeah.
And my point is just to give diplomacy its day in court is one of the things that you need in order to create diplomacy, is you need to take accountability. And accountability is not just I'm sorry. Accountability is I'm sorry and I've taken these steps to correct that. And unless we have a quarter of their livestock and farm available to us to offer when we walk into the building, we are going to be France.
I'm going to go a little bit further for you. Do you want to stake the lives of everyone in there and the people in orbit above us on the idea that you might be able to convince this religious nutjob group and an aberrant, which we know are usually hostile, to not kill us?
I mean, I feel that everything is based off of a lot of assumptions right here, but in the meantime, she is splitting up the explosives the way you want them, and putting on watches. She's just like, I know what like I am like, researcher level 3, like research, she's just like it's like golf, the smaller the number, the better, so it's like she's just like I mean, I'm just here to do my job, but she's just like, she's like, I would have talked to them if you wanted me to, but that's okay. It's been like 90 years, kind of thing.
That's true. It has been 90 years.
I mean, if it were just us, I probably wouldn't object, but it's not just us. And that's something we have to account for. We're here to save the people that they took prisoner.
If we can. I mean,
Let's
we're
do
not.
it.
We're actually here to drop off some shit and then leave, but here we are.
All right.
We walked this far.
So your plan is to sneak over to that wall, plant your explosives, set them up in such a fashion that they will not completely pop the cork, but they will be loud enough that it will bring aberrants running to investigate.
Yes.
And then to use can these laser rifles can they get into the walls of this building? Like, do they look like normal walls?
Yeah. You're pretty sure you could probably cut a hole in the wall. You're not sure that you can, you might want to let the doc do that because, or actually, well, you might want to do it yourself. You want to make sure you're not shooting because if it goes through the wall, it's going to keep going through the wall. It's a laser.
Right.
So
Can I ask you a question about this wall, the courthouse wall?
Sure. Yeah.
Is there like a door in the wall on the side that we need it to be?
No, there's not a door on that side.
There's no doors, no windows. There's just only the front entrance. I mean, that's
No, there are
fine.
doors and windows on the sides. There's no door on the back of the building.
On the back. Okay. I was like, we could go in the side door.
I mean, you
if
could try to
want.
sneak. You could try to just sneak in the side door
Yeah.
Yeah,
with or without explosives.
that's true. We could wait till everyone leaves and go into the building. I just have a laser carbine.
You could also, like, another option you would have would be set the explosives, sneak in through the side door, and then use the explosives either if you get caught to hopefully create a distraction, or as
Yeah.
you're getting out with the people to create a distraction. That
We'll
is
use
also
this. We'll use the second explosive to create a faster door if we need one.
I love that plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
it's a great
If for
plan. I'm
no-
happy to be part of it.
And if for no other reason, is because we'll also have an explosion to collapse the tunnel behind us as we leave.
Yes.
All right. I would like you all to go ahead and give me larceny rolls paired with whichever attribute you feel is most appropriate for being sneaky.
All right. I could go with resolve and just say I was too stubborn to be heard.
That is possible. Which
I mean,
That's a joke.
which modes do you have, Amira?
In terms of attributes,
No,
or
your psi modes. I'm actually
Oh,
looking
my
at psi mode.
yeah. So my psi is electromanipulation, photokinesis, and technokinesis.
You have dots in all three.
Yeah, I have 1, and then 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, you could try. It would be very, very, very difficult, but you could absolutely try to make your group invisible. But it would be at a +4 difficulty because that's level 5 photokinesis power.
Yeah, that's not my that's not my specialty. But why don't we try it? We roll it, we try it. If it doesn't work, then it's just like the Emperor's New Clothes, I guess. You know?
It'll cost you 4 points of psi,
Okay.
and then you'll need to roll psi plus your photokinesis. And you may spend additional psi points as enhancement on this roll if you want to.
I will add another 2.
All right.
I rolled 2 10s.
Keep it cooking.
No. Okay, so 4 successes. 4 successes.
That is exactly what you needed to activate the power. So you have a pool of points equal to your psi to use to create or modify images. Total points necessary and compare them to the available pool. If you don't possess sufficient points, you must make a simpler or smaller illusion. So what's your psi score?
It's I have 3 dots in psi and my psi points are 15.
Right. So you have your psi score is 3 then.
Okay, yeah. 3.
So
And I have an IAD if that enhances it at all.
your IAD is attuned to what though? To what mode?
Probably the technokinesis if we're
Yeah.
going to be frank about it. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
All right. So you can make the 3 of you functionally invisible to sight or any sort of electromagnetic detection.
Incredible.
As long as the aberrants are using normal senses, you'll be good. This will give you a +2 enhancement on your larceny rolls. So let's get those larceny and whatever is important rolls. Did you already roll that for Werner?
For
Yeah,
Uh,
the larceny resolve.
I do not have any dots on larceny, so it's just resolve.
Okay.
I was waiting to see what she was doing.
So I gave everyone a sticker and made us invisible.
Got a 10
It-
on that, on top of an 8,
Is
so
is it a gold star sticker?
3.
it's a holographic sticker of a space shuttle.
Amazing.
So 3, and then with the enhancement, that's 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And then does it have to be like a physical attribute, or is it like kind of
No,
mind over?
you could do like cunning and larceny, or you could do again, like I said, composure. I will not balk at in this situation. You are keeping your head is vital.
I'll do cunning. I think that makes the most sense. She'll assess the situation pretty quickly.
Right.
So I have 1 success plus my invisible successes.
All right. Do you want to spend any of the 2 momentum that are remaining for re-rolling any of your failed dice?
I will do 1 if everybody's okay with that.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll that 1 failed die, please.
No, the computer says no.
All right, so you are at 3 successes total. All right, let's see what Fenrir's got. Give me that larceny.
I got larceny and composure, 2 successes plus advantage 2, so 4.
All right, so would you like to spend any of that momentum on any of your failed dice?
I feel like because of the smirk that our DM had when
Is
he
my
said
poker face failing? Is that what
yeah, it
you're
really fucking is. So yeah, I'd like to use 1 at
saying?
least.
It is the loneliest number.
That is
Mhm.
also the last point of momentum that you have. Go for
and
it.
it gave me a 7. So damn.
Ain't that the way? All right.
Mm.
You set the charge. You sneak in the side door. As you sneak in the side door, you can hear voices. Sort of, there's a bit of crowd walla coming from the main chamber, and then you hear order, order. We must decide what to do with our prisoners. It is very clear, as we mentioned, we have no food stores. While some have argued to ransom these prisoners for a food drop, doing so will only announce our presence to those bigoted horrors from Terra, who will undoubtedly come down here and force and cleanse us. Perhaps we should take them as food to sustain us on a journey and move.
I poke DJ.
While you're overhearing this discussion, you also hear some like whimpering and some whispering from the other direction, deeper toward the back of the building. Do you want to split up and have some of you listen in while others go to try to get the people out, or what's your plan while you're inside this building?
I know what my priority is, and it's the people. So he's headed that direction.
I think Amira is going to get distracted by the other convo and split the party.
Right.
And Fenrir kind of wants her to. Because like I don't know if there's a way I can get this message to her, but like if there's a way, if they say something that suggests that we can get away with this without like attracting ire, because blowing shit up isn't a way that people don't like that, right?
Generally not a good
But
way to
also
resolve your differences unless you're Irish.
But I'm also like deeply curious about what this person is going to say. Maybe I could just stay too. Maybe we let Doc go grab them.
All right. Excellent.
Just like Doc walks away, and I'm just like, I have that little like boom mic that I had been using in the ship to make like the sounds, and I was like, maybe we could hear it better.
All right.
What happened, Doc? Well, I got the people and then we left. That's what happened. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Fenrir and Amira just want the hot gossip. Like that's what they're here for.
That's like
Fenrir and Amira are going to be on the menu, is what I'm hearing.
Fenrir feels the stir of revolution. It's like, what is happening?
As the two of you are listening to the proceedings, Werner, you make your way to the holding cell. And the holding cells here are remarkably low tech. Like it looks like a 21st century jail cell. There's a key ring not far. Like it's that level of tech. You can see there's probably about 30 people, the remainder of the crew.
Okay.
Now you are still invisible.
Are there any guards?
No, the place is not currently under any guard.
Okay. Is anybody too injured to move?
Doesn't appear to be. There's one who once you focus your attention on them, you can tell they seem to have a compound fracture in their leg, and it has become infected. They're not going to move swiftly. They're probably going to need help to move, but you know, if you can stabilize the leg, they can go, or if somebody can carry them, they can move.
I will stabilize their leg if I can.
All right. So
do I have to touch them, or can just seeing them be enough?
You do. I believe you need to touch them to use.
All right, then I will use
iatrosis.
Yeah, I'll use the keys and open the lock and like stay quiet.
The keys just like float.
Right. And the walls are just like, stay quiet.
We mean well.
Accelerate doesn't actually cost you psi, so they see the keys fly over and unlock, and that pretty much undoes your illusion.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, thank goodness. And you run over and you can put your hands on there and just drop a iatrosis 2 accelerate on them. That should be sufficient to get them moving.
Okay.
You just go ahead and roll your psi plus iatrosis. Is your iatrosis higher than 2?
No, it's 2.
Okay.
And I have that is my favored.
Excellent. So you have 2 enhancement on the roll.
Okay. 1. So total of 3.
Excellent. So that is enough for you to basically stabilize them and get them to where they are moving. They will heal faster for the next couple of days. This break will probably take them, if it gets set right and you get them somewhere where they can rest, it'll probably be healed in a week and a half.
Yeah, I tell them to be very quiet, and I will slowly lead them out the way we came.
All right. As you are leading them out the way that you came, you notice 2 things kind of simultaneously. One, there's another door at the other end of this hall that, if space works right, should lead you out of the building.
Oh.
2, you notice 2 8-foot tall humanoid people that have sort of like a chitinous shell over the back of their heads. They have human arms, but they end in sort of more like crab-like hands, and there are tentacles that come off of the tops of the forearms on both arms. And you see these 2 sort of whispering to one another and like nod their head over toward the door that you came in through.
Okay, I will direct the prisoners out the other door. Have they noticed us?
They don't seem to have noticed you yet, no, but they are now starting to turn and walk in that direction of the door that you came in.
Okay, I will direct them out the other door that I noticed.
All right, you're starting to pull people out of the room. As Fenrir and Amira are listening to this debate, you discover there are about 20 cultists in there. There are two people who are speaking who seem to have a greater authority, so some sort of greater role. Probably about 150 just normal citizens inside, and then 5 guards. And 2 of these guards sort of start rounding the corner, walking toward you two. And let's see if they can notice you. So they are going to roll their tracking skill against the lower of your stealth results. So that was a 3, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I think that is correct, yes.
Right. As they're walking along, they stop almost dead in their tracks. And let's get initiative rolls, please. So I would like you to roll the lower of your cunning plus athletics or dexterity plus empathy.
Do I need to roll 2 as
Yeah, just so we can keep track of like where you're at and what you're doing.
Sure. The lower of cunning plus
Cunning plus athletics or dexterity, empathy plus dexterity.
okay.
And Amira, how many successes did you get?
I have 2 successes.
Excellent. And how about for Fenrir?
Ooh, I have 1, 10.
Okay.
And a 4. So I have 1 success.
Okay. And how about for the doctor?
1.
All right. So, and then just to double check, nobody has hair trigger reflexes, correct?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. There is our initiative order. So, because I'm nothing if not a benevolent overseer of the universe, I always let PCs win initiative ties. It's very clear to you that they are about to draw to attack you. They are raising their hands in your direction in a not friendly fashion. What would you like to do, Amira?
Okay, I think I would change my outfit, tap my head for my shifting armor, and change it to a red robe and be like, take me to your leader. And hope my presence and what else you would allow me to roll would distract them enough to have them consider it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll. This is where some social things are going to come into play.
Mhm.
They have The atmosphere in here is hostile to humans, so
Okay.
that's going to be difficulty of 2 that you'll need to overcome, or a complication of 2, I guess I should say. And their specific attitude towards you is a -4 because they're really, really, really upset about what has happened. So for you to succeed on this roll, basically this roll is going to eat your first 6 successes, and then they will roll to resist.
Okay.
So what would you like to roll in order to do that? Is it going to be like a command? You're gonna go with
Oh, I have 5 in presence. I was really hoping to do presence and persuasion, but if
sure,
that's
yeah,
not
do
legit,
absolutely.
okay.
Persuasion presence is fine.
Okay, that's 7 dice. So
100%. Yeah, let's see it. Let's see the miracle.
okay, so I rolled a 10.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Excellent. You throw on your robe and go, everything okay here? Situation normal. And
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bold plan, Cotton. Let's see how that works out for him.
Negative. Everything's okay. No need to come up here. It's fine. You know.
Surprisingly, you see the first one waste their entire action this turn, lowering their hand and looking kind of confused. And his buddy just kind of looks over at him and like doesn't, he looks at him like incredulously and just fires a blast at you without looking at you. So he is going to attempt to fire this blast of raw corruption energy at you. I'm going to give him a complication of 1 due to the fact that he's not actually looking at you when he's shooting. So for your defense, you may choose whichever resilience attribute you'd like to rely on. If it's stamina, you're tough enough to take it. If it's composure, you're calm enough to like move out of the way. If it's resolve, you're just dedicated enough, you're not going to let this slow you down.
They're all 2, but I say if we have to theme it, would probably be composure.
Right.
So
Go ahead and roll your composure.
rolled a 9 and a 5.
Okay, so that's 1 success. So that makes your defense a 2.
Okay.
So once they get past, if they get past your defense of 2, then they have to contend with your soft armor to see whether or not they can deal you an injury, if in fact their attack is meant to deal an injury. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. So you're wearing armor, the shifting armor. What type does that, is that composite or is that complete?
It says it says base BIS Empire Tag 2, page 269.
BIS is
Yeah.
That's complete. It's
Okay.
slashing. Good. What's your soft armor rating?
2.
Okay, so they still got 2 successes on you.
It says hard 1. Does that count?
That gives you an extra injury condition that so the first injury condition you lose would be from your armor.
Okay.
If in fact that's what they were doing. The aberrant uses a power called incapacitate. The aberrant makes an attack. If successful, the attack deals no damage, but the target is taken out immediately, knocked unconscious. However, any other character at close range may bring the target back into the fight with a basic or mixed action to rouse them. If no such action is taken, the target awakens at the end of the scene.
Okay.
So that is them. Now we drop down to Werner. You clearly can sense this engagement going on behind you. You can look over your shoulder and see it. Are you going to focus on getting these people out of here, or are you going to go back and try to help your compatriots?
He's going. His priority is getting the people out. He will. I presume our things have radios in our helmets and such, right?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
communication with one another.
He's like, I've got the prisoners. I'm getting them out. As soon as they're clear, I'll come back and help. Get out as fast as you can.
All right.
Where is
and
Fenrir in this situation?
standing directly next to the two of you are like face to face with this. Like they rounded the corner and walked right up to you.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, you're right behind me or right next to me. I just
Right. But I'm not unconscious.
You are not. No, absolutely not. You have not been, and I will get to your action in just a moment, because what I would like, Jeremiah, what I would like you to do is, do you have command or leadership?
I don't know, but I don't think so. No, I do not have command or leadership. Is it a thing here?
Is it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? Persuasion. I'm sorry.
He does have
Wrong
persuasion.
edition in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, he does have persuasion.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and roll a persuasion, persuasion, and whatever attribute you think it'll best pair with, just in terms of crowd control, to see how well you can get these people out.
Yeah, I think in this case it's the fact that he is so calm, and using resolve in that regard.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
push them out. Like he's very intent and. All right. Well, that's 2. Let me re-roll this 10. 3.
Excellent. You are shepherding them out like a champ. You've got them ducked low, moving as quietly as they can, rapidly in a line, and you've got them pointed out for a place to go and hide that is going to be relatively well covered. It is going to take until the end of the next round for them to all be clear.
Okay, no.
So that then will bring us to Fenrir. What would you like to do?
So Mira is unconscious next to me. And these two, do they notice me, or did knocking out Amira?
Oh, yeah, no, like they're now both turning their heads towards you.
Great. Is this explosive device, is it a timed, or do we have a remote control? I don't know if we figured that out.
Well, since it hasn't been established, I am more than willing to allow you to determine that.
Because now would be a really great time for a distraction, right?
Sure, yeah.
whatever you wanted, she made. You wanted a timer, she put a little timer on it. You want a remote, she
You have
has a remote. Like
you have a remote, probably would be.
Yeah.
I would assume, because you want the flexibility in the plan to be able to, not detonate it if you didn't need to, right?
Sure. Yeah. Let's blow that up and try and incapacitate these two.
So you're gonna hit the bomb and try to take them both out.
Right.
All right. This is gonna be what's called a mixed action.
Okay.
So hitting the bomb is technically going to be, you're just pushing a button. So I'm just going to make you eat 1 success to do that effectively. And then are you using close combat? Are you using psionics? What's your plan for taking these two out? I don't think you're going to be doing much to them with clairsentience.
No, we're definitely using close combat. I also have the I'm not unarmed.
I mean, if you want to shoot at them with the carbine, that's fine. That is not a quiet weapon, though.
Yeah, I'm about to make a giant explosion halfway across town now.
Right, fair enough.
So I feel like that'll cover that.
So you could do aim.
I don't know if do I have aim? I don't have aim. So we're gonna do do I need aim? They're like literally right in front of me.
Yeah, if you're using a rifle, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Then I guess I'm using close combat.
And she's just gonna try to like throw a wild ass like Dick Tracy homemaker or like haymaker at them.
I mean,
like...
can I butt punch them with the rifle?
Sure, yeah, why not? I'll allow it.
Okay. All right.
In
let's
fact,
do
I'll
that.
give you 2 enhancement for the club.
Amazing.
So yeah, go ahead and roll your close combat. Now, are you trying to hit both of them?
Well, I have to hit one of them.
All right, so yeah, you're gonna go ahead and roll.
I'm just gonna say you took like a gun for each hand, and you don't even have the gun skills. So
I mean,
find this
that's
quite.
I did.
in my experience, that is gun bunnies, right? Like, like I don't know if you've ever seen one of my favorite films is I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And there's a scene in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker where Isaac Hayes puts on something like 400 guns. And then immediately slips on an empty shell casing and falls on his butt and discharges every weapon. That's the funniest.
Everybody wants to be John Wick. That's
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be John Wick.
Yes. Can you
Yeah.
fire 2 guns while sleeping through the air? Yes. Can you do it
Yeah.
accurately? Probably
No.
not.
No, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, well, guns, that seems like a good idea. I have 1 success plus the 2.
All right. You hit one of these things directly square in its nose with the butt of the rifle whilst triggering the explosion. It doesn't react to getting hit.
Doesn't, of course it doesn't.
It's like, oh, that's quaint. Bomb goes off. You hear obviously some murmurs in the area. And then one voice says, "Children, children, calm down. The sovereign will address any such threats." Brings us to the top of the order. Amira, you are unconscious. I assume you will take this opportunity to snore a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I feel she's that kind of person. She'll definitely make her presence known even asleep. Yeah.
Both guards are going to now target you with their incapacitate attack.
I should have just surrendered. It would have been fine. They took hostages. Why didn't I just?
So the first one, go ahead and roll whatever your resilience attribute you'd like to use.
So resilience. I still have composure.
Yeah, drop it.
All right. One success and a 10, so 2 success and another 10. I love that. 3 success and 3 successes.
The first one fires their blast at you and it goes wide, hits the wall. You notice kind of in your peripheral vision, it does absolutely nothing to the structure of the wall. Interesting. You're not quite sure what that radiation is. You wonder what that radiation might be as the second blast like tags you in the side of the face. They use they use their incapacitate ability on you to render you unconscious. Werner, you see those 2 drop. You hear the decree, "Children, fear not, the sovereign will address it." And you are like ushering the last person out the door. What would you like to do?
They know where to hide, right?
Yes.
They're not going to make it out of this cavern without me. So All right, let's see what I can do. The smart play is to just leave with the prisoners and come back, but we're not doing the smart play, are we? He's gonna slip back in, and he's going to use one of his psi abilities,
Okay.
and I'm gonna push it if I can,
Sure.
because Algesis allows me to hurt people with it.
That it does. You can do some terrible things to people with algesis. What terrible thing would you like to do? Or I'm sorry, yeah. What terrible thing would you like to do with algesis?
I am going to I'm gonna push it, so I don't know what how much I need to spend, but I'd like to be able to use I guess I'd love to use ruin, but that's a 3 dot, and I don't.
And how many dots do you have in it?
I only have one, so
So all you have to do is you spend an extra 2 side points above the cost of the power, and then you have to get an additional 2 successes to
okay, I'll try it. That's a total of 4 side points, and I roll my psi plus that ability, right?
right, and your psi plus the algesis, and not like the what you're pushing for, just your actual algesis rating. You can also spend psi points for enhancement on this roll.
I'll spend 1 psi point.
I mean, it's expensive. You're up to like 5 psi to do this, but I mean, it's also a terrible thing to do to a person.
I'm taking down one of these guys.
It's not the worst power. The worst power with algesis is morbidity. No, hands down.
Well, atrocity also not great.
Yeah, no, atrocities gross, but morbidity is like, I just shred your life pattern. Like, you're goo now. Thanks. Enjoy.
Googly moogly. Okay. So 4 successes.
That is sufficient to activate the power.
On top of the one I got from spending the extra side point. So
all right, excellent. So you have a total of 5 successes. They required 3 for you to activate the power. So you have 2 additional. The target can oppose this with psi plus composure. In this case, it would just be the desperation pool. They fail to do so.
okay.
You can choose to remove 1 skill dot per success or 1 attribute or edge dot per 2 successes. You can also use the successes to impose a single status condition like stunned, paralyzed, or unconscious on the target, and instead duplicate the effects of mooters and other drugs.
I'm going to go for the unconscious effect.
Okay.
Time to go to sleep.
All right. Are you going to try to divide your successes between the 2 of them, or just knock 1 out?
I'm going to divide between the 2 of them.
All right.
And I hope I can get them both.
Let's see. The first one you drop, just you touch him and he's out. The second one, however, looks at you, and like their skin sort of pocks and bubbles a little bit where you touch them, and then smooths back out.
Well, I tried.
They turn to you to attempt to incapacitate you.
What am I rolling?
So for this, you'll roll your whatever resilience attribute you're trying to use to apply to defense.
Okay. I guess resolve. That's my highest.
Sure.
Too stubborn to go to sleep. Sorry.
That's fair.
And we don't have any momentum left, do we?
You have 2 momentum because both of those 2 failed rolls.
Okay.
So
Good
I'm
to
sorry
know.
about that. Yeah, remind me. Please try to keep me honest. If you fail the roll, you get momentum.
All right, I'm going to spend those 2 momentum
All right,
on
excellent.
so that re-rolls. Is it 2 momentum per die or 2?
No, it's 1 momentum per die that you
Okay.
re-roll in. You just have to. You can't spend
Okay.
more than you failed dice on. You know.
All right. Oh, that's better. That's better. All right. So total of 3.
Excellent. They fire a blast at you, and you like take it, and for a second you feel a little woozy, and they're like, not today. And as soon as you pull yourself back from the brink of unconsciousness, you feel the entire ground rumble. At first you think it might be an earthquake, but then it rumbles again, and you realize it's a rhythmic rumbling, like footsteps.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is where we will go ahead and take our 5-minute break for biological and technological needs. So if you are watching this live, just hang out. We'll be back momentarily. While you are waiting for us to return, I would be remiss if I did not mention that you should run over real quick to Drive Through RPG and pick up They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. It's the best game that's ever been made. Go buy a copy for yourself, for your best friend, and for your worst enemy. And yeah, if you're watching this on VOD, just hit fast forward until you see our pretty faces again. We will be back soon. I'm waving while we wait for our tech person. twitch.tv/the Onyx Path, where we are playing Trinity Continuum and Assault on Nemesis Station, Session 2. This is the finale of our story. And to recap where we have been, the party made their way down into this subterranean aberrant colony. After some investigation, they realized this is a colony dating back to early Aberrant War days, possibly even pre-Aberrant War. The Aberrants seem to have been agitated by when the ice shelf broke. It destroyed the farmland that the Aberrants had set up underneath the ice shelf in this asteroid. And so their attack was motivated. They kidnapped a bunch of the miners and brought them down in and had them held prisoner, where the group had snuck in and released Werner released the prisoners while the other two sort of watched the debate as to what would happen. But unfortunately, they drew the attention of a couple of guards who then made short work of them. Werner got the hostages outside before turning back to help his friends. And that's where we parked. And the Aberrant had just attacked Werner, and Werner managed to shake it off. And then the ground started to shake it off in rhythmic steps. Quakes as though something large is moving through the cavern. Werner, it is your action. What would you like to do?
He's going to calmly and with purpose lift the rifle and shoot this thing in the head, because he can't do the I'm going to knock you unconscious again trick. He doesn't have enough power.
Not enough side. All right, give me a aim and dexterity, unless you have another whiz bang thing you want to lean on.
Given that he was being all calm and stuff, I could argue either composure or resolve.
I'll take composure.
Okay. I know in other related systems that resolve is, hey, you're taking your time.
Yeah, resolve is more like is like tenacity, right? Like, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, if you're passionate about it, I'll allow resolve.
No,
Aim.
composure's reasonable.
What?
All right. Why are my dice on fire tonight? So that's 3 with 2 10s so far.
Oof.
4.
Excellent. Plus, you get the enhancement from the carbine, which is 2. And that also has beams, so you can just lay down fire if you need to, but you're only fighting one person, so that's not going to be terribly important. You strike them. You burn basically like a cigar-sized hole in their cheek, which they seem very offended about.
Oh dear.
They're going to backhand you in response. Maybe not thinking as clearly as they should be. Go ahead and make your defense roll for this turn, please. So whichever resilience attribute you want to lean on.
This one I'm actually going to be, he's just going to take it, resolve kind of thing.
All right.
He's out stubborning him. Do I add close combat?
Nope, it's just a straight resolve roll.
Okay, wasn't sure. 1 success.
All right, so that makes your defense a 2. They got a 3 to hit you. So what is your soft armor?
My soft armor probably don't have a lot. I'm just using the like the spacesuit. Not a lot of armor on that, I don't think.
Wait, I think that's soft too, actually.
Okay. So soft two.
So they are unable to actually damage you. So instead, they're going to spend that success to do a trip stunt, basically.
Okay.
So they knock you prone.
Okay.
You're unharmed, but you're on your back. You hear shuffling and like the sound of something heavy moving, perhaps more rock moving outside the building.
Okay.
What would you like to
I-
do?
I just shot this thing real good and it didn't even notice. I'm not sure if I can do anything to it. Don't have enough psi power to let me see. I guess I mean, I don't have it's either that or run.
Run is an option.
Yeah, I would feel might perturbed if I had to leave these two people behind. So he's going to uh he's going to try one more time.
All right,
To
fire again.
yeah, he's
Right.
gonna roll back to a sort of kneeling shooting position.
Fortunately, being prone has no effect whatsoever on your ability to fire at someone. So by all means, make your roll.
This is nuts. So 4 with 2 10s.
Nice. I love it.
I these dice are never this nice to me when I use them to play vampire. I'm just saying.
It's a sign that you should play more Trinity.
Maybe. So a total of 6.
Excellent. With the enhancement of 2, that is sufficient to deal him another wound. As you shoot him again, this time you catch him kind of in the stomach, and you do pierce the skin. Some blood starts coming out, and he looks down at you. And in this turn, he's going to use an ability, and I would like you to roll your psi plus your highest mode real quick. Because he is spending a point of corruption.
2.
So this is an attunement roll to see if you get like a gross ass headache. In fact, why don't the rest of you also roll psi plus your highest mode, please? And I'm sorry, did you say 2 or did you say 2? All right, rock and roll. It's disturbing to you, but it not enough to like cause you agony. How about for Fenrir? How many successes did you get?
Seriously, this is garbage. 1.
All right. The bad news is you take a injury condition. You may choose where you put that injury condition. You can decide that you're going to do it in bruised. You can decide you're going to put it in mauled if you want to. But what the injury condition is from is quantum flux exposure.
Okay,
So
I
it's
would
kind
like
of a
to-
head injury.
I'd love to put that in bruised.
All right. So go ahead and write just QF exposure on the line next to it. And how about for Mira?
I rolled 2 successes.
All right. It is enough to rouse both of you, but it is not, but you don't suffer any injury from it.
Okay.
So the two of you wake up as this wave of quantum passes. That's the good news. The bad news is all 3 of you witnessed the shot that just pierced this thing's stomach close. but we'll keep our same initiatives. Amira, what would you like to do? You're laying prone on the ground under this aberrant, and his back is to you because I'm nothing if not a benevolent deity.
Yeah, so she'll wake up, see a wound close, be like, that's a very useful trait, and she's going to bio aware things.
Use
I just
bioelectric
looked-
awareness on it.
Yeah, in terms of I can disrupt things with it. He can
Oh,
get more deep.
yep. Yes. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, what's your electromanipulation?
It's at 1.
All right. So go ahead and roll psi plus electromanipulation. This doesn't cost anything.
Okay. 1 success.
Excellent. So they have to roll survival plus stamina. In this case, it is their desperation pool. They did get 2 successes. So this has no effect on them. They seem to rebuff your psionic attack.
Okay. And she just says, wow, you're one tough cookie. She's trying to put on the charm here.
Ignoring you entirely.
Yeah.
The aberrant is going to attempt to swat the gun out of the good doctor's hand. Go ahead and give me a defense roll there, Doc.
Which one am I rolling?
Whichever resilience attribute you'd like to. You can certainly be resolute to keep your hands on that gun.
Yep. 1.
All right. Unfortunately, they got 3. So your defense would be a 2 because it's always 1 and whatever you had. So they basically kick the gun out of your hand. The gun goes flying. You have been effectively disarmed, but it is your turn, Werner. What would you like to do?
He's going to reach out and touch him.
All right.
And I'm going to use misfire, which is one I don't have to push to do.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a. This also does not cost psi to use.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll your psi plus algesis.
Yep.
And your difficulty on this is going to be 4. So you'll need to get 4 successes for it to work. You can, again, spend psi for enhancement if you want to, if you have it.
I'm going to spend 2.
All right.
I am running low, kids. But that'll do. 2 10s off the hand. So that's 4 with the enhancements.
Yep.
And just 4 with the enhancements.
That is sufficient. So you can impose a complication.
I'm going to impose a condition.
Okay.
He's going to feel fear. I'm making him run away.
Excellent. You do so, and he his eyes go wide, and he darts out he starts to dart out the opposing door. Fenrir, you have an action.
As he's running away?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, kind of like running past you. Give me 1 second. I need to close the window. Or maybe not. Yeah, so he is running past you. So you're kind of primed up to strike him if need be.
I'd rather just let him run away because he seems I ain't got nothing.
That is a perfectly valid choice. that you just made in your life there. He runs outside. As the door swings open, when he runs outside, you see more than actually seeing like the being itself, you see this massive silhouette, which seems to have a vaguely humanoid shape. It's got 4 arms, a protrusion atop its neck that you think is probably a head, and 2 legs. It is probably about 25 meters tall. And the reason you're seeing it in silhouette is because its back is to you and it is facing the wall where you set off the explosion. But there appears to be some sort of glow emanating from its front that is then casting the silhouette like so it's backlit basically from your angle. You are no longer in
Nope.
rounds. What would you like to do?
Run away.
Let's go get the chickens and let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
All right. So, Amira, are you joining the party in their decision to flee?
Yeah, I think they'll have to like pull me a little bit because I'm just like, like she'll probably be like, "We mean you no harm," but like she's been knocked out a couple times. So like
All right. So you take off and head out to where you told the others to go hide.
Mhm.
After a few quick nudges, because you have to prompt them because they're paralyzed with fear, effectively. You get them moving kind of along a circuitous route that leads them, between buildings and ultimately out to the escape. As you're making your way through, you do see this large aberrant sort of turn to kind of look in your direction for a moment. And you see that along its head are 6 yellow orbs, 3 to a side, that look like they may be eyes, but they are projecting light. This doesn't give you any more clarity into its form. It's almost reminiscent like of if you've seen the movie Cloverfield. It's got that vibe where like at no point are you seeing the entirety of this beast. you know
Hate that.
Yep.
So in light of that new information, does that alter your plan from run, get away, retreat?
Yeah, if we could run faster.
Like, you're the transporter. You got any tricks that you want to pop out to help us move faster? I am here for it.
You do have 1 set of explosive charges with you if you want to blow the tunnel on your way through.
We could slow him down at least.
Sure, on our way through, on the way out that door, as we are running very, very fast away. I am Jeff Goldblum in this situation. Faster, faster, must go faster.
Excellent. So you start, hauling ass, making your way up the tunnel. You drop the charge, like probably literally just throw it over your shoulder, get what you hope is a safe distance, and hit the button.
Werner, when he tosses the explosives behind him, Werner yells, "Fire in the hole!"
yes.
And so here is the question: are you all going to attempt a 2-kilometer sprint through this labyrinth and back to the place, like running the whole time, or are you going to, once you've blown the thing, try to go to a more a softer pace?
I mean, literally as fast as we can go without
feel
losing
like-
people.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really slow down until we're physically forced to slow down by
And with accelerate, I can help them keep going a little bit.
Sure.
So I will accelerate everybody so that they're a little less burdened, I guess.
And accelerate is a non-cost, right?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So yeah, you slap everybody with accelerate and just keep hauling as fast as you can. Let's go ahead and have each of you give me an athletics and stamina roll, if you don't mind.
Sure. I can be wishful thinking.
Bear with me one moment. I don't know. I doubt it's coming through, but it's bothering me, so I'm gonna shut this window. So,
Sure. I've definitely developed well, if we continue past tonight, I would spend points on this and this and this.
well, hang on to the characters. You never know. We might do a sequel.
All
So stamina athletics. What do we wind up with for Werner?
Huh. There's no momentum, right?
There is no momentum in the pool.
I got a goose egg.
Now there is one momentum in the pool. And Werner, you may assign an injury condition wherever you like. That is basically just like sprained ankle from trying to run too hard. And given your vitakinesis, that'll probably last until the end of this scene.
Yep, that's fair.
How about for Fenrir?
I got one success.
All right, you're good. You're absolutely like panting when you get to the hole to climb back into the place, but you're good. How about for Mira?
I got 0 successes, and I even
Excellent.
put like a pity athletics point in there just in case for this moment, and it still failed. So
Excellent. So now you have 2 momentum in the pool, and you may also take an injury condition. You, however, do not have the benefit of being a vitakinetic, so this is going to last a little longer for you. We're going to say that you tore a leg muscle in your haste.
Once we get out of the scene, though, I should be able to actually apply accelerate to her. So
Yeah, absolutely. Now, none of you were using psi during the run, so we're going to assume that you have regained your psi points back. Because, like I said, psi heals fast. You get up into the station proper. You have all the people assembled. What's your next action? What's the next move?
call for pickup.
Yeah, we're calling that ship back.
Right?
yeah, or if there's like an extra shuttle somewhere because there's so many of us now, all the shuttles.
No, you're gonna need to all
Yeah,
cramp into the one.
let's do it.
Yeah, there are no vehicles stationed here. There are no ships stationed here. There are absolutely like skimmers and like ground vehicles and shit, but that's not going to get you off the asteroid.
If she can short range communicate to the Fenrir ship because it is in orbit,
Yeah.
to come back down and get us and have people like just there's a lot of people when you land. We need to be ready to just like shove all the boxes out and put all the people in. That's what we need to do. So
Anything else that you'd like to do other than coordinate this rescue and abandonment effort?
We've got the records, right? You grabbed them already?
I've downloaded like everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I reckon as soon as everybody's on the ship, blow all the airlocks. Some of them will still be able to follow us, but a lot less of them.
Easy peasy.
Okay.
You do so. That's not even going to require a die roll. You load up, Fenrir. They get out of your way. You can hop in the pilot seat. and you start making your way off asteroid. Jenny, the one who was piloting, was like, so you said there's a whole colony down there?
Yeah.
You have you have the distress beacon going, right?
Mhm.
Fenrir, I know this is like your ship, but I think we ought to fly over that cracked ice flow and drop the reactor.
Uh, 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 he doesn't like it.
Do
Just
we have
because,
Do we have
just
enough?
because, just ethically, he doesn't like it.
Where are they
So,
going to go? Like Amira's like, where
Yeah.
are they going to go? Like, you know, they
No,
have
The
Well,
hell,
they
if we're
use
lucky, what are you
keys.
talking about? Where are
They
they gonna
use
go?
metal keys for things. Who
No.
does that? You know?
you know, that's fine. Listen, do you know, DJ, I don't know if you remember this ancient song from days yore, but if you could play We Didn't Start the Fire, I feel like that's appropriate for this
Yeah.
particular moment. I don't want to do this, but if I don't do this, they think that we matter, and they think that we care also, and that means that they have to care. And so we've kicked a hornet's nest, and you have to. I hate this, but play the music.
Werner was going to make a point. What was Werner going to say?
Well, I mean, this is an extra reactor, right? We're not just dropping the power core.
No,
from
we're
the
dropping the
ship.
power core from the ship. We'll have battery power to handle life support, but we've got the distress beacon going, and we're off rock.
All right. Well, any way we can get some propulsion after with just the battery?
I mean, go ahead and make a technology intellect roll. Anybody who wants to try to figure out if there's a way to do that?
Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to calculate that for you with my 9 dice?
Yeah, please.
Mhm.
Please do.
That would be great. If you could help us cleanse this community.
Okay, hold on. I gotta write stuff down. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I just double rolled a 10. Like I rolled a 10 and then got another 10.
Nice.
So 2 successes.
Okay.
5 successes.
All right. With 2 successes, you know that you're still going to have the actual like the navigational thrusters, and you'll have whatever fuel is left in the Atmo engines. It's not going to get you far, but it will get you some propulsion. And out here, as long as you avoid the big rocks, you're not going to get pulled down into a gravity well. With 5 successes, you know you can get a couple of good bursts of speed if you vent some of the oxygen on board.
So, okay, sorry.
So if you vent, basically there are 4 containers on this ship that handle life support. Those are mainly in case of emergencies. In modern spacecraft, most of your oxygen is just recycled. So you're drawing from very little of the raw stuff. But if you explosively decompress those, you can probably get, good 5-minute burst of probably about 3 or 4 times the speed that you'll get using the nav thrusters.
So Amira is going to explain this and then say, we're putting all these people on the ship at jeopardy for people who've lived underneath a ice glacier for 90 years. I've had this beacon out with a comm for like a couple of hours, signaling space caps because Jenna doesn't know their official name. Sorry. I feel like if we just let them deal with it and we get to safety, no one's going to be able to really follow us.
Well, it'll take them a few hours before they even get the signal, maybe another couple of hours to mobilize a response, and if several hours before they get the signal back to us to tell us they're coming. I'm just saying,
Well, it's been going before we even went down there.
yeah.
Right.
but-
And to be fair, just so that you're all aware, you might luck
Yeah.
out and another asteroid miner might pick it up, or some pirates might pick it up,
Also,
or another hauler might pick it up.
Malachi didn't quite understand the initial request of the ramifications of the initial request, that this would like ultimately get in the way of the ship's ability to get as far away as possible at the same time.
Yeah.
Malachi thought the DM was like, "You want to blow some shit up?"
No, it's the
so
equivalent of
consequences.
like if you ever watch Star Trek where they drop the warp core, that's basically what you'd be doing.
Yeah, no, Fenrir is generally a big fan of it being tomorrow's problem. Whatever, the cops know about it. We're fucking going. And whatever happens after that is fate, I guess.
Getting the civilians out is the priority.
Yeah. So let's just go. And so like you'll hear like a record scratch sound for "We Didn't Start the Fire." And you'll hear the Nemesis theme song.
Yes.
Which like with the EDM drop beat, Nemesis, and then it's just like I charted a star course for you too. She like upgraded some stuff. Like I'm not a very technological person, so this is ironic character for me. But whatever, I don't know, like I cleaned your caches in your ship or something like that. So you're just like, she's just working a little faster. Yeah, kind of thing. So
I will take a moment to reassure Jenny and be like, look, the Legion will take care of it. We have got to get all of these people, half of which are injured, as far away as we can, as quickly as we can.
I'm afraid they're gonna follow us.
Yeah, they're gonna follow us. We're gone. We're gonna be gone.
they
They're gonna try and
can't.
follow us.
They only have keys. Like Amira is just like she's trying to like explain oxygen to people, fix
No,
the thing, run
no,
a playlist, and it just
no.
comes out as like they only have keys and all their cows are dead.
No.
Like it's not coming
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, except she is right. That big one, he's going to come. So step on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna follow us, and we got nothing. We got nothing. And the cavalry's coming. That's
So
fine.
are you going to try to whip through the asteroid belt at full speed?
Yeehaw!
All right.
I will point out, as the science nerd, the nearest asteroid, even in the asteroid belt, is going to be like hundreds of thousands of kilometers away.
Yeah, they're usually I suppose it depends on what you define as an asteroid, right? So like the big things are an issue, but I mean, you don't have to run to something very large for it to be a very large problem in space.
Also, I feel like this moment is the reason why Fenrir is a pilot, because he's not a really excellent pilot. We have like one bubble in pilot, but he does have psycholocation and psychocognition.
Right. So yeah, you can literally use the force to like turn off your targeting computer and use the force to drive, basically.
Yeah.
You could do the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. It's fine.
Thank you.
Fenrir just goes, never tell me the odds.
Yeah. And then Amira will just be like very quiet. Like she'll just be like lightning, no calculator for you.
But please do give me a pilot and dexterity or whatever else you'd like to lean on roll, please. I'm gonna give you I'm just gonna give you a flat enhancement equal to your psi plus your highest mode.
Okay.
You're using the sight to pilot.
So we're using pilot and what?
whatever attribute you think would go best. Normally it'd be dexterity, but I would accept composure. I would accept intellect.
I love composure. It's my favorite. And I have driven in Louisiana, so I understand that composure is actually what matters when you're piloting.
That's
I
fair.
have 2 successes.
Plus, what's your psi plus highest mode?
Plus my psi is 3. And what is my highest mode?
Yeah, your psycho navigation, I think, is your high, whichever one of those is highest.
Psycholocation.
Which is a what?
3.
So you have 8 successes on this roll. So
Nice.
you're like doing barrel rolls and shit, and you're taking off, and you see, like, on your sensors, a massive, well, a relatively small ship object, or maybe a massive aberrant, flying up behind you.
Hate
And
that.
he's trying to keep pace. You're bobbing and weaving and ducking and whirling. And I would like all of you to roll your psi plus highest mode, please.
Okay. I am.
I have 2
big-
successes.
Yeah, I'm going to spend one of the momentum to re-roll one of my dice.
Sure.
Okay. 3 successes.
4 successes.
Excellent. You all feel, in addition to the corruption that is almost, it's like at the edges of everybody's senses, but Fenrir, who can easily feel it. You feel a pulse, a subquantum pulse, wash over you, like a very, very strong psi signature. And Fenrir, you're able to reverse course before smacking into the Leviathan that just appeared in front of your ship. It's a giant
Amazing.
spaceship, about a kilometer and a half long. Its wingspan is about as wide. And you get hailed.
And we answer that hail.
Unknown vessel. This is the captain of the USS Iroquois. See, you got a distress signal going on. Everything all right?
Captain, everything is absolutely not all right. I have an unknown amount of passengers with me, and we are being followed by an aberrant.
Can you get over to docking bay 3? We'll open the doors.
Sure, whatever you say.
All right. As you fly over to to docking bay 3, you see that there's room for you to land. However, you also see like 4 other docking bays open and just a shitload of fighters go flying out.
See, DJ, cavalry. We're fine.
Yeah, we picked up your distress call by Jupiter, but it mentioned aberrants, so we thought a little quick jump wouldn't be too bad. I hope we didn't rattle you or your partners.
Fenrir puts his hand over his comm. Literally the only time calling the cops has ever worked for me. Yeah, no, we're great. We're great about it.
Yeah, and as soon as we land, Werner is going to be barking commands at whatever medics are there, and like, this person's got this person's got this person's been treated for this, but needs, this one's dehydrated, the whole 9 yards. He's just.
They about 15 medical personnel come running out and just start ushering people to sick bay, treating anybody they need to be treated immediately on the spot. And basically getting everything calmed down. Once you've docked, everything is settled, the fighters come back. The captain asks you all to the bridge.
Well, here it comes.
Oh, could I have done something while everyone was doing their thing?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was going to uh download all the stuff that I wanted on like a secure USB or something for myself.
Oh,
Like all the
downloading
data.
a copy of the data for yourself?
Yeah, like I felt like I had like a GoPro or something like that.
Sure. I mean,
Like
you have
video.
ample storage devices.
Yeah.
And I think with your electromanipulation, you could technically just write data psionically.
Yeah. So it's like, if they take away my devices, like it's on like my own thing, kind of thing.
Sure. You all roll up to the bridge. It's not a short walk. Takes you about 20 minutes to get there from the docking bay. Walking through the hallways of the Leviathan is strange. Most of the hallways are technological, but you can see some of the biological elements of the Tesser drive, like poking out in various seemingly random places in the walls. And it looks disturbingly like a brain.
Gross.
As you make your way into the bridge, you see a woman about 6'2", long pink hair in a mohawk, wearing what looks to be, it looks almost like the still suits in Lynch's Dune, like very sort of bug-like sort of tight form-fitting suit. And she's sitting in what looks for all the world like an open clamshell.
Hot.
And says, "Welcome aboard. I take it there is some explanation for what we just went through."
Yes, ma'am. We had a bit of a hootenanny, a little light on the hoot. We were delivering supplies. My friend Fenrir was piloting. I was there on Trinity business. And I do believe our friend here was there on architect business, and we found the place devastated. Turns out they stumbled upon a secret aberrant colony by accident, destroyed their food supply by accident.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That sounds like a wreck that the Trinity is going to need to sort out. But I've asked a squadron of our fighters to stay in orbit around Nemesis until we can get Legion assistance over there. We're gonna have to do some fancy footwork with ICE because they technically own Nemesis. So there might be some bureaucracy there, but that's not anybody in this bridge's problem. So thank you for being forthright with me. Hope you don't mind. Our next stop is we're heading to Luna. So does your ship need any repairs?
Does my ship need any repairs?
I think some bits and bobs got pulled off and like reassembled to make the beacon. So minor ones.
Just say yes. It's probably free.
Yeah. Actually, we need a full tune-up. Actually, we really we got to change all my fluids as well. We really burned through some stuff. And also, I disassembled my beacons to call y'all here. That would be great. And if you could also change you probably couldn't change the ID number, right? Because you said Luna, right? Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, if you could make it look like not my ship anymore, that'd be great.
I'll give her a readout of what I'll be like, oh, I just sent the computers what it needs upgraded and where it can be charged if there is a fee. I mean, there shouldn't be a fee because there is an aberrant, but you never know with insurances and stuff. And I'm gonna charge it to the my well-connected high-flying CEO that's always like using me to
So you're
get
gonna
his like TPS reports right.
you're gonna put
And
it on your Orgatech corporate account,
yeah, we're gonna
basically?
use his
Yeah.
corporate card because he owes me one, kind of thing. So yeah.
That's all right. You are not the first, nor will you be the last Orgatech employee to just charge things willy-nilly to corporate accounts. It's all money, you can pay for it. All right. Captain says, sorry for the circumstances of our meeting, but I hope you have a safe and comfortable trip back to Luna.
Man,
And with that, we draw the curtain on Assault on Nemesis Station, our Trinity Continuum Aeon Tale. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about this session, about the game in general? Final thoughts?
I want to know what kind of debt collecting nonsense Fenrir gets into as soon as he gets back to Luna. So I'm pretty sure the plan in my head, once we had that little interaction, my head was like, well, we're going to do this job and then we're going to go somewhere else entirely. And now we're just getting a freight to Luna. So now I'm going to be writing some fan fiction about Fenrir, I think.
I love it. You should. Absolutely. How about for Amira? Any last thoughts or any reflections? Any?
I feel like her epilogue is that she's gonna write like a very detailed report in one of those fancy Orgotech chairs that you said like molds to them, but like she'll keep adjusting with the chair, and so they always like just like kind of kaput after a while. And so it's just going to be kind of like this long detailed report about like systematic misunderstandings and like people hate each other and all this stuff. And so she's just like, maybe this is an opportunity to like have Orgotech like research like aberrant or something like that. And it's going to be a very like a dream that's gonna go nowhere, and then she's gonna get like another shiny job trying to figure out how to make better wheelie shoes or something like that, kind of thing.
I love it. And what about for Werner? Any epilogue or final thoughts or reflections?
I imagine Werner will do his official duties first. Like he'll write his report, he'll talk to the Legionnaires, give details on the place they're about to assault, stuff like that. And when he's done with that, he's going to go wherever the ship's mess is, and he's going to sit down with a bottle of bourbon and sit there and have himself a drink and just relax.
Celebrate being alive. Sounds like a great plan. I commend you all on thinking outside the box and your brilliant, if not always successful, solutions to the problems that this adventure presents. It is definitely set up for ways to think your way out of it and to skirt around getting into those big fights, because any starting Aeon characters have no business locking horns with a Terrat level threat, which is what the Sovereign was. So you did a good job. I had a great time. I hope you all had half as much fun playing as I had running this, because it's been a blast. And of course, you're all welcome, on channel whenever. Maybe we can figure out a time and do a sequel or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But in what's up?
I would definitely play this game again.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Tell all your friends
do.
a million times.
Yeah, I just got the hang of it.
Yeah, I know, right? So we need to get a sequel going. But yeah, in the meantime, though, let's go ahead and do our outros. If you would please, this time we'll go in a different order than we did before. So we'll kick things off with Amira. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you've been playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
So my name is Jenna, and I was playing Amira. Both our pronouns are she, her. Um, I am a writer and a game master. So if you would like to check out my Instagrams at Jenna_Flohr or Real House Cats of Pittsburgh, you can find links to my books there. This Sunday, I'm going to start The Devil in Board Shorts, which is a Trinity Continuum core game, which is 1990s Florida meets noir. So if you like your hard-boiled detectives eating Little Caesars pizza, stop on by. It's going to be around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And other than that, I am prepping an adventure to come out on the Storyteller's Vault in the fall called Moon-Based Distress Call. And I've set it up to play Technocracy, but after playing Aeon here with Travis, I think I can also work it to get all your favorite Trinity Continuum Aeon characters in there too. So we'll see how that goes.
Wouldn't that be fancy? I love Aeon content. I can never get enough of it. It is my fave. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to checking out your show on Sunday.
Thank you.
Which reminds me, if you're watching right now and you haven't followed us to know when we go live or subscribed, you should do those things because they're awesome and helpful to the channel. Next up, Jeremiah. Speaking of things that are awesome and helpful to the channel, Jeremiah, if you could please give us all your pertinence.
Yeah, I'm Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game here on Twitch and on TikTok. My pronouns are he, him. I played Vern Verdigris, and his pronouns are the same. As far as things to plug, every other Monday I am STing a Vampire 5th edition game, more inspired by what they do in the shadows, called Newark by Night. And every Monday until the end of this particular series, I am during the day I play in a game called Twin Cities by Night over on Beggar Street. And I think that's what I've got to plug. So
Sweet. Well, thank you both again for coming to visit us on the channel. It's been a pleasure, and we would love to have you back at any time. And speaking of pleasures, I would love to have back anytime. Mal, please, your pertinence.
Oh, hello. I'm Malachi Hoskins. My pronouns are he, they. I played Fenrir, pronouns he, him. I am a poet for hire on Instagram at Malachi Hoskins. I am also a Texas sommelier. If you want to learn about wine and spirits in the service industry, follow at Rough Prune on Instagram. Or if you just want to hear me talk shit on the internet, I am Malcontent on TikTok, and an occasional Onyx Path personality hire. And I hope to be back soon.
Hope to have you back soon. And I guess that leaves me. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they. When I am not running games, I am writing them. A couple things I want to just bring to your attention. If you head over to our link tree, I'm going to toss that up in the chat. You can see several things, but right up top, you should see the bundle of holding for Dark Ares 2. Lots of cool content in there. You can get in for as low as $10, I think. And the 10% of the proceeds go to the Diana Jones Award scholarship for up and coming writers. So it's a good cause. It's a good chance to get a hold of some cool Chronicles of Darkness PDFs at a very affordable price. And I believe there's a link through there as well where you can pick up the Dark Ares 2 Deluxe Edition, traditionally printed hardcover at 75% off as well. So go check those out. Also, if you've not yet done so, pretty pleased with sugar on top, go snatch you up a copy of They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. It is an incredible fantasy role-playing game using the story path system, using the They Came From rules. And I will be running They Came from the Cyclops' Cave Friday at noon EDT on this channel. And then I will be back here really soon. I'll be back here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, for Mage the Awakening, where I am playing a crotchety goth mage named Nancy, because I saw the craft at a formative age, I guess. So it is fun. It is wild. There's a lot of cool interactions going on in that game. I'm super happy to be proud of it and or to be a part of it. And Tom Moore, the story guide, is amazing. So yeah, be here tomorrow, 2 p.m. I hope to see you then. Till then, take care of yourselves and each other. Wash your hands. Get shots. Be nice to your neighbors, and we'll see you again real soon. Hi, everybody.